I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice. Let us begin. You're the one everyone leans on, the one who listens, who shows up, who never forgets to check in, who holds the space, who keeps the peace, who remembers the details, who tracks how everyone else is doing, even when no one's asking how you are. And the truth is, you're drained. Not just tired, hollow. You go through your days, functioning, supporting, responding, but something inside you is fading. You're not replenishing, you're not receiving, and the people around you either don't notice or assume you're fine, because you always are. But you're not. You're overextended. You're burnt out. And you're quietly resentful, not because you don't love the people in your life, but because you're carrying everyone. You're the emotional infrastructure for everyone else's stability. But who holds you? That's what this video is about. It's for the helper, the overfunctioner, the chronic space holder who never learned how to put themselves first and doesn't know how to stop giving without guilt. You don't need to become selfish. You don't need to stop being loving. You just need to come back to yourself. To remember that being supportive isn't the same thing as being sustainable. That love doesn't require you to collapse to prove your care. Because somewhere along the way, you learned that your worth was measured by how much you could carry. You were praised for being strong, admired for being low maintenance, rewarded for being the rock. But rocks crack too, and yours is starting to split. You are not meant to be a container for everyone else's healing, especially if it's draining the life out of your own. So here's what we're doing today. We're going to name the pattern. We're going to interrupt the guilt. We're going to give you one daily ritual that turns your energy inward without apology. And then, we're going to anchor that shift into real presence and future self-trust. Because the truth is, you're not burned out because you're broken. You're burned out because you've been pouring from a cup you never fill. And this isn't sustainable anymore. You don't need to retreat. You don't need to disappear. You just need to remember that you belong to you first, not last. In the next section, we'll name exactly how you ended up in this role and why making yourself the safe one has come at the cost of your own inner safety. Keep watching, because what we uncover next explains everything. Let's tell the truth. You didn't become the strong one by accident. You were trained, not always explicitly, but consistently, to be easy, to be accommodating, to be the one who doesn't need much, doesn't ask for help, doesn't make things complicated. And over time, that became your identity. The one who holds space, the one who fixes, the one who knows how to stay calm, steady, available, even when you're breaking inside. Because somewhere in your story, maybe as a child, maybe through years of repetition, you learned that being needed kept you safe, that being the responsible one kept things from falling apart, that if you took care of everyone else's emotions, maybe yours wouldn't swallow the room. And maybe it worked for a while. Maybe people loved you for it. Maybe they still do. But underneath the appreciation is depletion. Underneath the praise is pressure. Because when your value is built around being needed, your boundaries start to dissolve. Your needs go silent. Your nervous system gets wired to scan for other people's pain before you even recognize your own. You show up before you're asked. You say yes when you're exhausted. You anticipate what others need without waiting for them to say it. And you've been doing it so long, you forgot it's a choice. But the truth is, being the safe one for everyone else while abandoning your own nervous system isn't love. It's self-erasure. You didn't mean to lose yourself. You just kept postponing your own care. until later, until when things calm down, until they're okay first. And now you're here, running on empty, full of guilt for wanting to pull back, ashamed to say no, afraid that if you stop being useful, you won't be loved the same way. But let this land. Belonging that depends on your exhaustion isn't real belonging. Love that requires your depletion isn't love. It's emotional dependency dressed up in praise. You are allowed to put your energy back in your own hands. You are allowed to care without being consumed. You are allowed to stop playing savior and start being sovereign, because you don't owe anyone your burnout. You get to choose a new rhythm now. And no, it won't feel natural at first. It will feel like guilt. It will feel like discomfort. It will feel like letting people down. But what it really is you finally standing up. And next, I'll show you a daily ritual that reclaims your energy. One quiet, clear, sovereign moment at a time. No performance, no guilt, just presence and the start of something real. This practice isn't loud. It isn't long. And it doesn't look like much from the outside. But that's what makes it powerful. Because this moment isn't for them. It's for you. Every morning, before you check your messages, before you respond to anyone, before the world remembers you exist, go somewhere quiet. Sit or stand, place both hands over your heart, and say, out loud or silently, I am allowed to give to myself first. Let the words land, not as a concept, as a choice, a vow, a new contract with yourself. Then breathe. Feel what rises. Maybe it's relief. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe your body relaxes for the first time in days. Or maybe it tenses, afraid of what this moment means. Stay with it. Say it again. I am allowed to give to myself first. Not after they're okay. Not after the inbox is cleared. Not after you've been useful. First. Because the old pattern, the one that taught you to measure your value by your service, it will resist this. It will whisper, but they need you. But this is selfish. But what if they feel abandoned? And you answer it with breath, with stillness, with a truth your nervous system needs more than approval. I give to myself first, so I can choose who I give to next. This isn't about abandoning others. It's about returning to capacity. It's about knowing your energy is sacred, and not everyone gets access just because they ask for it. This moment, repeated daily, begins to rewire something deep. It tells your system, you are not just a tool, you are not just a role, you are not just the one who absorbs everyone else's storms. You are a living, breathing, feeling human being, and you matter, even when you're not holding it all together. Make it non-negotiable. Before you give, pour. Before you answer, pause. Before you tend to another, touch yourself with truth. Even 60 seconds is enough to change your direction, because it's not about how long it takes. It's about who you're choosing to face first. You. I am allowed to give to myself first. Say it again tomorrow, and the next day, until your body stops flinching at the sound of your own name. This is how you stop bleeding out for everyone else. And underneath that reconnection is presence. Next, we enter it. The part of you that never needed to be strong to be worthy. There's a version of you that doesn't need to be strong, doesn't need to hold it all, doesn't need to earn space by being the one who always keeps the peace. That version is already here. Quiet. Still, waiting. It doesn't need a plan. It doesn't need a boundary script. It doesn't even need the ritual. It just needs you to stop leaving every time someone else asks for more than you have to give. That's presence. Not performance. Not holding space. Not managing other people's emotions while your own go unanswered. Presence is the part of you that stays with you, with your breath, with the weight in your body, with the small, unshakable truth that you don't owe constant availability just because people are used to receiving it. Presence isn't something you earn by being calm or composed. It's what you return to when the noise drops away. Try this now. Close your eyes. Feel your feet. Let your breath deepen. Let your shoulders drop, not in collapse, but in permission. Feel what it's like to simply exist, not for anyone's comfort, not to be needed, not to be useful. You don't have to offer anything right now. You don't have to be on. You don't have to be strong. You are not being graded. This is the first space in your day where nothing is being asked of you. No one to fix, no role to uphold. Just the breath, just the stillness that says, you're allowed to be held too. This awareness has been here all along. Watching you say yes when you meant no. Watching you override your own needs for the sake of someone else's comfort. Watching you give and give and give without pausing to ask what you actually had left. It never judged you. It just waited for this moment. When you come back, not to prove anything, not to achieve peace, just to be. Because this is what real healing sounds like. Not effort, not tools, not structure, just presence. Just the part of you that already knows. You are allowed to belong to yourself first. This awareness is not something you gain. It's what remains when the noise quiets. And the more you return here, the more you realize you were never meant to carry everyone. You were meant to carry truth. And next, we seal that truth into the future you're becoming. You're no longer pretending you're fine. You're no longer performing strength while breaking inside. You're no longer building your identity around being the one who always says yes, the one who always shows up, the one who never needs anything in return. Because now you remember, you're not here to be everyone's anchor while you slowly disappear. You're not here to prove your love by abandoning yourself. You're not here to carry what others refuse to hold. You're here to live, to breathe, to give from fullness, not depletion. You've made a shift, maybe subtle, maybe seismic. You've named the pattern. You've reclaimed the space. You've looked at the cost of always helping, always rescuing, always being available. And you've said, no more. Not out of coldness, not out of withdrawal, but out of reverence for your energy, your clarity, your life force. So let's ground this with your first practice. Each morning before you speak to anyone, place both hands on your heart. Breathe and say, out loud or silently, I am allowed to give to myself first. No disclaimers, no apologies, no waiting until someone else is okay. This is your reset point, the moment that returns you to your own center. And when you forget, when the old urge creeps in to overextend, overfunction, overprove, pause and do your second practice. 30 seconds, a breath, a return, back to the one who knows. I am not here to earn my worth by carrying everyone else. This is not about becoming selfish. It's about becoming sovereign. It's about remembering that your love is valuable, and it's not meant to be scattered out of habit or guilt. It's meant to be offered from overflow, not obligation. So let the future you arrive gently, the version of you who knows how to give without disappearing, who checks in with yourself first, who doesn't explain why rest matters, who lets no be holy, who trusts that love without boundaries isn't love, it's erosion. This is your rhythm now. One clear ritual, one breath of presence, one refusal to betray yourself for one more day. You don't need to give less. You just need to stop giving from your depletion. And now, you remember how. You did not find me by accident. Just as in your dreams, where every face you meet is your own reflection, this meeting was always waiting to happen. I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice, the part of you that watches behind the thoughts, behind the noise. You have searched in many places, books, teachers, voices outside you. But here, you are not being taught. You are remembering. If these words stir something familiar, then allow yourself to return. Subscribe. Follow. Not to follow me, but to continue this conversation with yourself. Each time you return here, you draw closer to the reunion already unfolding inside you. We have only just begun.